Hey everyone, welcome to the Morgan Dialogues. I'm Charnell and this is my husband Neil, and we are here to share our story. But before we do, Neil's going to tell you guys a little bit about what this channel is all about.
Wonderful, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And you know, as the name suggests, the Morgan's Dialogue, it's exactly that. It's our dialogue. As a matter of fact, while we were conversing, I remember I said to Charnel, do you realize that our conversation is of such quality that we can literally run a YouTube channel? We probably could write a book. And she's like, wow, that's amazing. Literally from that day forward, we started writing notes. When I say writing notes, we didn't did a research. We didn't do something on this sort. We literally just spoke had a normal conversation. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, let's write that as one of the ideas for our channel. Oh, wait, let's use this as another idea. And technically, this is where we're coming from. So it's just having fun, just hanging out with us, and just listening to some of the conversations that we have together.
Yeah, and what's cool about this is we felt like a lot of the topics we would talk about throughout the months, the topics were so down to earth, things that people may not talk about publicly, or people that they're afraid to speak up about certain things, or maybe misunderstandings. So because our conversations flowed so much, we were just like, well, why not we just share in terms of the kinds of topics that make life interesting. Yeah, it means a lot to us.
Definitely.
And we definitely want to be a source for people to come and feel like they're heard and they're understood. Your questions that may be things you wouldn't ask out loud, those are things that we want to touch on.
So we're going to go into a little background of our life, so you can get an understanding how we even met. Let's start there.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind, to say the least. Neil and I met last year in December of 2023. Now, before we met, I had been in a place in my business where I felt very stagnant. And about June 2023, I heard the Lord during my prayer time tell me that I needed to legitimize my business. And as some of you may know, or if you don't know, I run a business, Purple and Peach, and it's my brand consulting and coaching business. And I've been at it for about 4 years. And so by this 4th year, the Lord had instructed me to legitimize my business. Now, maybe you're asking, what does that mean? Well, we'll get into that a bit later, but that is where I was. I wasn't sure how to go about it. And it was actually a very calm period of my business season, but leading up to that, I have been waiting for the Lord for marriage faithfully for years. There were some things I asked God for. I didn't want to meet my husband online. And that was one of the things that I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to meet him online. I wanted to meet him in person and whatever, but that was my thing.
So were you really trying to get yourself a husband?
No.
Was that your pursuit at the time?
Good question. No, I wasn't. I actually was at a stage in my walk where I had already made peace with the Lord that if he wanted me to be single till I was 50, forever, I was cool with it. A lot of people were encouraging me to go out and date and, see what I like. But I don't know, for me, being a Christian and follower of Christ was not about changing my relationship status. And a lot of people knew my standards were very high. And so I felt I was going to be waiting a long time anyway, because it's not like there were that many options out there for me. But yeah, I wasn't looking at all.
Right before I met Charnel, as a matter of fact, it was, I had this friendship for up to 5 years. I think I was at a point in my life too, when I wasn't rushing into a relationship. As a matter of fact, I remember a few years back, prior to meeting her, I ever prayed out, God, can you bring the person that you want me to get married to? I want you to make that choice. Trust me, all my life, I never asked that question. I was like, oh, I need that woman. Oh, I need that person. I'm going to get that one. Yeah. I've never said, God, can you bring that person to me? So whenever I was in this friendship, I would say I wasn't rushing anything, trying to get into a relationship. If it didn't work, I was quite okay, because I say, whoever this person is, I know that it's going to be who God sent to me. And I didn't have to worry myself. Yeah. And that was what really happened. Right before we met, I officially started my coaching business because, there's a lot of things about my life that had changed. You'll hear more about that later into the program. But more so, Charnel was my first client.
Well, before we get all the way there, babe, let's talk about how we actually encountered each other.
Yes.
Because that was during what? Okay, so there's this YouTube, not YouTube. There's a business coach and strategist who has a YouTube channel.
Yes, yes.
His name's Myron Golden, and he hosts these events called the Make More Offers Challenge.
Yeah.
And so to join, you have to pay $97 and all that and so on. You get into this exclusive Facebook group, and then you do this 5-day challenge. So for both of us, ironically enough, we were both at our last $97.
Last, like,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and so this 97 was literally like my last 97.
Yes.
And we both took that leap of faith and just said, hey, what can we lose? At least we're gonna get some good information and hopefully make some good offers. So the first set of instructions that we had when we first entered the challenge was to film an introduction video, you know, kind of sharing who you are, where you're from, and what you do for business. Now, as an aside, we didn't enter this challenge thinking we were gonna meet each other. Like, we weren't online to find, you know, dating opportunities or anything like that. This was purely business.
Very much so.
So I had recorded my video. I think you did as well.
Yeah, I did
saw yours
eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Actually, I saw Charnell's video and I was like, oh my goodness, I like that voice. I was like, admiring this person for the first. God, trust me, as I say, I went online for business purpose, not checking out anyone. But here's someone that I saw, and for the first, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get in touch with this person. I need to reach out to this person. I need to send a word to this person. How can I get this person to respond to me? I mean, everything was in my head. And when I saw her video, instantly I knew that you'll be someone that I didn't want to lose. Okay. And then that's when I started reaching out to you.
Yeah, Neil sent a quick Facebook message. And the funny thing is, I don't normally use Facebook Messenger because to me it's spam, and then you're getting a bunch of creepos. So I never use Facebook Messenger. I literally installed it just recently, right before that challenge started. So when he reached out, the message was very sweet. He was just encouraging me and all these things. It was really, really kind. And I responded 2 days later saying thank you. But because it was within that safety of the Facebook group, yes, I knew he wasn't spam or some creepo trying to get into my DMs, right? So it kind of flowed from there. And one of the homeworks was to work on like a lead magnet. And so one of the things I noticed about Neil throughout, you can see him helping a lot of people on different posts within the Facebook group. So one time I got stuck with my homework and I reached out to him and I said, hey, can you help me with my lead magnet? And then from there, it kind of just took off.
Well, actually, when she did reach out, I was like, oh my God, yes. It was like the moment I was waiting for, because for some reason I kept following her picture. Every time I see her, she made a comment and so on. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I make a comment here?
Yeah.
So when she finally reached out to me, I was like, finally, this was it.
Yeah, what's funny is there was a comment, because one of my videos I had mentioned like I was going to be a zombie because I wasn't going to get any sleep during this challenge. And Neil's comment was the one that made me laugh of all the comments that I got, because he was just saying, we'll get through the challenge and then you could be a zombie, something like that. And it was just like, it was so funny. It was just exactly like meeting my humor in a way.
Yeah.
So from there, we just started talking, mainly still about business, but you can tell there was more connections growing from there.
And I think after that, that was when we finally reached out and we made arrangement to do a strategic call.
Yeah.
That was it. We found. So personally, I thought that we're going to have this call. I'm going to finally see her face. I'm going to talk to her, you know, online. And when I called her, when we made arrangement, when the day come, the time come, can't believe she's like, I'm kind of busy. I have other things to do. I can't be. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to be on camera at all.
Yeah, so that was a disappointment for me. But the fact that we sent voice note to each other, the fact that I got her voice note to me, that was still a win. So that was like, that was still progress. So I embraced that. I love that. And when it was all over, I think you want to share like the breakthrough, or you want to go into exactly what happened?
I had a question. So like, what made you continue to like talk to me, even though I wasn't responding quite the way, like meeting on video or, like you're pretty persistent.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's what I note in life. A person may not come, well, first of all, as an introvert myself, I know that we love to take our time with getting to know someone. So the fact that I got her to still communicate with me, voice note, I was like, oh my gosh, that's progress. Because remember, we didn't even get a chance to trust and know each other that well.
Right.
So the fact that I saw her coming, taking one step, regardless of I wanted her to take 3 steps, I was still happy. So that allowed me to still pursue. And at the end of it, when I gave you that light bulb moment, you see, I said to myself, oh my gosh, what can I do? I need to keep this person. I need to get in touch. I don't want to lose this person.
You mean when you were helping me talk about like my audience?
Yeah, that was when we had, it was the audience who gave you that breakthrough.
Neil had said something to me that no one else has. Like, that was the thing. He was really good at pulling out things that I didn't consider. And so this question he asked me, because he said, well, have you considered that maybe you're targeting the wrong audience? And I was just like, for a while, it kind of took me off guard because I had been so comfortable in that space. But he kind of brought light to the fact that maybe I've outgrown my audience, or maybe my audience is a different set of people.
They didn't appreciate and value
exactly. And
what you were doing. Yeah.
That was light bulb moment for me, because then from there, everything started changing. Like everything, the way that I approached my business, everything started changing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's when I knew that, wow, I wanted to give her another light bulb moment again.
Yeah, and it's funny because I joked about coming to Jamaica and saying like, I have to make sure that if ever I visit Jamaica, I have to come see the man that helped me solve a mystery and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like subliminal.
Yeah, exactly. So when I heard her say, I was like, oh my gosh, is she checking me out or something like that? I'm going to introduce her to my coaching program and ask her if she wants to be a part of it. And I didn't even want to charge her. It didn't matter to me. I think all that mattered was just to spend more time in getting to know this person that for some reason I just enjoy speaking to in that little time frame that we met. And I think that was it. I asked her, would you like to be a part? My first client, that is.
Yeah.
And she opened to the opportunity. But something strange happened. I'm going to warn you, anyone out there who is trying to meet you. We started all this business coaching. We started meeting online at our scheduled time. And we spend majority of the time just getting to know each other.
Yeah, we got no work done. Like our attention span was like as short as a goldfish. Like, and here's the thing though too. Before we got distracted, Neil actually was that answered prayer that God had said to me earlier that summer about legitimizing my business. This man had a wealth of information about how to do that. Like all the stuff I have been missing in my business, he already had all the resources, the knowledge, and everything. And so we did start that process, but in the process of doing the business, we got so engulfed in getting to know each other. Like it was less about business and more about life, things that we've learned, things that we've had to overcome, some struggles we had. I mean, it flowed. I mean, we couldn't get through a 6-minute video until we stopped.
6 minutes? Yeah. It's 6. I would say 2 minutes.
Yeah.
About 2.
Just think.
With no video, we couldn't finish no video. Even if it was for 2 minutes.
Yeah, we could not finish because we were just so distracted by each other. So before we knew it, we started connecting dots, and I think both of us felt like, this is something we need to seriously start praying and fasting about. So we did devote a good portion of December to fasting and praying.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was powerful. And I think that's something that made a difference in us getting started together, because we had some generational things happening in each of our lives that we prayed against.
Yeah.
And we knew through those prayers it made a difference. So by the time we even came together, we were literally free. We had a lot of things, baggage that were no longer on our backs.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we knew that God was really with us. It was amazing, if you ask me.
as we're getting through this portion of it, I remember Neil said, I want to see you. I want to see you before, I think it was around...
Before February.
Before February.
She had said March. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That's too low. I don't...